this far. Even if there are seasons or even if there are moments where I'm feeling like I can't feel his hand and I can't feel him close, or it's seasons of disappointment. But I found myself saying, if God has brought me this far, surely he's still gonna make a way for me. I would like to take a journey with you. And as we journey, can we journey with the children of, can we journey with the Israelites as they were journeying to the promised land? And in taking this journey, I thought to myself that we have been seeing the hand of the Lord in a very mighty way. The hand of the Lord being with them through the miracles that he performed by the time that he took them out from Egypt. He took them out with his heavy hand and with the miracles that he did. And yet we're finding the children of Israel like along the way. I don't know if it's human nature, but I can surely attest to the fact that it is indeed a human nature that we tend to forget. And therefore, I am saying, lest we forget the things that the good Lord has done, lest we forget where he has taken us from. When we get to these areas where we're seemingly not too sure and not too clear, may we remember like the journey of the Israelites. I'm going to read from Exodus, like I'll be until, like I said, that I am going to zoom in into the miracles that were performed by the Lord as he was taking his people to the promised land. So I'll be reading in Exodus chapter 13 and in verse 21. In the title there, it says the pillars of cloud and fire. So the miracle I am going to be talking about now, okay, like if I may maybe just read it first. Okay, in verse 21 it says, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. Then it continues in verse 14. Okay, in chapter 14, verse 19, it reads, then the angel of God was going before them. Then the angel of God was going before the host of Israel, moved and went behind them. It attests to the very same fact that he was their light by the time it was dark, and he was giving them the direction such that they do not lose the focal point and they do not miss the way. And in verse 21, it reads, then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. It's like I found myself, I'm thinking that God, like in these places that I'm seeing and I'm feeling like I need to cross over, and seemingly I am not crossing over, may I be reminded of the mighty hand that parted the Red Sea. May I be reminded of the hand that caused the Israelites to pass and to get through. And in verse 27, it reads, and as the Egyptians fled into it, as they fled into the sea, the Lord threw the Egyptians into the midst of the sea. So sometimes we walk through life and we have got so many challenges and so many enemies, and we stand and we're like, but God, where are you? You are our help. And can't you see that we are really going to be consumed? And I'm reminded of the time that the good Lord fought for the Israelites and he made the enemies to drown. So I am not privy of the things that you might be really going through, or the things that you are battling with. But I'm just trying to remind you, in case that you have forgotten. I'm trying to remind you that there were times where you prayed for that particular job. There's times that you prayed and said, God, can you heal me from this sickness? And God, in his mysterious ways, he defied science for you. There are times where God opened the red seas of employment in a foreign country, some of us, and he gave you a table. And right now you are sitting and thinking, but God, I've got so much fear. God, I do not know where this and this is definitely going to come from. I'm here to remind you. I'm here to remind you of the miracles. I'm here to remind you that the same God that pulled you from that place is still the same God. Now, I'm going to read, like I think is the last verse, if not the second of the last. Okay, and the subtitle, I'm now in chapter 15, it says, The Bitter Water Made Sweet. Then in verse 22, it says, They went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. When they came to Mara, they could not drink the water because the water was bitter. Therefore, it was named Mara, and the people grumbled against Moses. And in this particular verse, it was going to be a focus on the fact that as we're journeying, I know that at times it might take days. In this particular time, it took them 3 days, and they were thirsty and they needed the water, and there was no water. And when they got to the source where they thought that their thirst it was going to be quenched, they found the water to be bitter. So I just thought to myself and said, from the miracles that I have just spoken about now, surely I should have been having a track record that He is a God that definitely comes through. He is a God that I've seen Him paving the way in the Red Sea. He is a God that I've seen Him leading me by fire, by cloud. I have seen him doing these things. And definitely, yes, I'm in this space where I'm saying that I need the water. And in needing the water, it is bitter. Definitely, I should be knowing that he is a God that provides and is a God that makes a way. And most definitely, he is going to do something. But like I did say before, it's human nature in situations or in times where things are not seemingly going right, we grumble, we say things, and we forget the mighty hand that has brought us thus far. And lastly, in chapter 16, verse 4, it says, Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I am about to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them. Okay, like I think I'm just going to end on the part where the people will gather a day's portion each and every day. He is a God that provides. Lest we forget and we are in situations where we're thinking that He's surely not going to provide again. Some of us have lost jobs. Some of us are looking for jobs. Some of us, the businesses are not going right. But we're seeing him being a God that provides, being a God that gives a portion each and every day. And as I was studying, especially that particular verse, like I think the use of the phrase a portion each and every day, it came with an element of trusting God each and every day, that don't worry about today, don't worry about tomorrow. I will definitely make another provision for you. And I'm here to say, children of God, we might be having some anxieties about the future. We might be facing some uncertainties about the future. But I have just given you a track record that is a God that always steps in. I've just given you a track record that is a God that always provides the bread. Some of us prayed for the jobs, and the jobs are no more there. I'm just here to remind you that a better one is definitely going to come, because he's a God that never fails to come through over and over. And I know some of us are going through tough times. Some other people is in their marriages. Some other people is in the raising of the children. Some other people it's a yoke of failure, chronic failures that you honestly don't know where they are coming from. I'm just here to remind you that there's a song that says, roll back the curtain. In case I forget, roll back the curtain of memory again and show me where you have brought me from and where I should have been, because I'm a human being and I tend to forget. I'm just here to say, some are worse off as we're sitting and waiting for God's blessings. May we count our blessings. May we name those blessings one by one. And as we give praise and as we honor Him, surely the next door is bound to open, because He loves a cheerful soul. A cheerful soul says that even if I am in this space of not being certain, I know that my Redeemer liveth. I know that my Redeemer is surely going to come again. And for some of us, I'm going to say that we have been trying and trying this thing over and over again, just like Peter. But I'm here to remind you to trust Him if He says that, can you cast your net on the other direction? And remember that He defiles the logic and He defiles the science. Go with faith. Listen to Him if He's saying that it should be done in this way and something is going to come through. We shouldn't lean on our own understanding. That's what the verse says. And lest we forget, He's a God that still does miracles even until today. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share the word with you. Amen.